Probably her peak viewership.
Well,
is the
on
South
that
Park
note,
Yeah.
on that note, I'd like to bring up another topic, real quick. Probably a last for the night, but exclusive Starship Troopers remake in the works at Sony.
No.
And honestly, I think what they're going to do is they're going to say, you didn't understand what the message was behind the books. I think you need to understand that fascism is awful and the humans were terrible in this. And that's exactly what they're going to do when they remake this.
What do you mean by that, Alf? Like,
It's gonna be from the bunk's perspective.
talk about that. What people thought it was? Is that what you're referring to?
So,
leading up to it,
in the books versus the movie. So the books, yes, he was making a tale on fascism in the books. However, in the movies, they depicted it very differently, and in the movies, they made it very like they wanted to make it very patriotic for humanity. It ended up being their stories, that the humans are being ridiculous because it's very parody. The movie is very parody. It's talking about the movie is very parody. It's talking about how ridiculous humanity is being, but he's actually, a lot of people cheered on because it is parody, but
part of the problem is,
go ahead.
Sorry, just Highlander was really good for my grandfathers. And so my family actually was a little bit involved when this first happened. His widow wanted to try to protect his legacy. So when she sold him the rights, she put it in the contract that they couldn't change a single word of dialogue. So every word of dialogue that's in the movie was from the book. Or every line from the book that they used was exactly the same. But they took the imagery and the things that were happening in the book at those times and twisted them. And so that every character is the opposite to some degree of what it's supposed to be. And it literally broke her heart. It literally almost killed her. My uncle would talk about all the time how upset she was. And it was just because they didn't want to have a movie where, turns out if everybody who actually earns the right to vote and be a part of things are the people who vote. The people who don't, they get rights. They just don't get privileges. And all these other things, and an idea of the future where people will actually work completely on meritocracy, and that technology allows you to. There's just a lot to it that they destroyed, and they made it into a big blow 'em up movie, which I don't actually mind as a popcorn blow 'em up movie. I just can't think of it as Starship Troopers. And a remake, I don't know. Do they have the rights to the original story, or are they making a remake of the movie so they only have the rights to the movie?
But when I watched the movie, I got the feeling that the way the movie was portraying it is that if are you willing to fight for your world, for Earth?
Well,
you gained citizenship through that, and it was meritocracy. And like if you aren't, you have your basic rights. That's fine, but you can't vote. And honestly, I was fine with that. But that's me. So
the movie was supposed to be a parody of the book, but everybody still loved it, and I believe the director even hated that people loved it the way it was and agreed with the messaging. That's why I don't want a remake, because it's already good right now, and they're gonna just fuck it up.
I feel like Verhoeven's known for being satirical like this. Go back and look at RoboCop.
Yeah, that's RoboCop. That's Total Recall. Total satire.
Yeah, all I was going to say, I feel like this is just a reaction to the fact of Helldivers 2 and the explosion of all of that. and it's like...
That's actually very possible.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, and the weird thing is that, well, for one, Sony also owns, or at least owns the rights to that game to some degree, but that's also Sony, and they are also making a Helldivers movie. So they're going to be making these two things in tandem, which are almost the same thing, which is so weird.
Why would you compete with yourself?
Right. I just don't even understand. Where it's like, to me, that almost says that either this or the other are going to very much be kind of what we are talking about, which is painted in a different light. Not the way that the original Starship Troopers was.
The other thing is, how does it actually go forward? It says in the works at Sony.
Well,
I mean, I feel like
Right.
a lot of things are being announced.
Well, how long has the Stargate remake been in the works
God.
at Amazon?
I think we've been waiting 8 years.
You know,
What's
I
up?
look at it this.
How long
I
have we
look
been
at
waiting for Blade?
Right.
I look at it this way. They're going to take this, and they're going to associate everything that has to do with the humans with Trump, and they're gonna say
Right.
that Trump, everything that has to do with Trump is basically the humans and they're fascist. That's exactly what they're going to do. I can call it now, and the movie will probably come out 2-3 years from now, but it's exactly what it's going to be.
I think the bugs are going to be the Palestinians.
God.
We're going to get it from the bug perspective.
So in the book,
Matthews,
do they
Gaza Strip.
describe the main bug? I'm just curious about that.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
The brain bug?
Yes. You know what it looked like?
Oh God.
Pussy? a giant pussy?
I mean, honestly, if you want to make a movie about the bug's perspective and making it look like humans go too far, why don't they just make freaking the second Ender's Game book?
Oh, that's a good point.
Because they fucked up the first Ender
Fucked
Game
up the
movie.
first
Right.
Well, there's that. Yeah, but Speaker for the Dead.
Yeah.
And never mind. Those are good sci-fi, so I can't expect them to do good things with them. I just get
Listen,
frustrated.
Tiny, to that point, they're finally moving forward with the live action Gundam, and I don't want anything to do with it. It's
I'm
gonna
so
do
sorry.
It all fucking wrong. They're gonna bastardize it, and they're gonna probably just make fucking.
Is
Witcher
Hollywood doing
Mercury
it or
a
is
real thing.
Japan doing it?
Hollywood is doing it.
Look at this cast.
I feel
Lionsgate.
sorry for all Gundam fans.
Late 90s.
Mhm.
Casper Van Diem, which he was doing a few things back then. And then Denise Richards,
Yep.
love
Oh,
interest.
and do yourself a favor and follow Dina Meyer on
Yeah, she's
on
great.
Twitter. She's hot for being in her 50s. She's smoking, but
She's also funny.
yeah. And she actually liked one of my tweets when I.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Huh?
There's many people that are very attractive in their 50s. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Selma Hayek is in her 60s.
not Duke Devil.
Clancy Brown, speaking of
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
He just
He
keeps
did
He's
showing
awesome.
up.
awesome.
Ironsides,
Michael
which we talked
Ironside.
about last week.
Michael
with,
Ironside's awesome.
Karate Kid. Great
And also
guy.
Darkside.
What was it? Karate Kid? What?
Yeah. Mo brought it up. What was he in number 2? 3?
He was?
3.
3.
No, the next Karate Kid, the one with
The female Karate Kid.
Oh, with $1 Million Baby.
Hilary Swank.
chick.
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a fun movie. Like at the time, I was.
It's
It is a
very
fun
90s
movie, and the
popcorn
game is
movie.
also fun. I'm not even talking
Hey,
about
and Diz was the right choice.
Gotta keep my mouth shut. The Starship
please.
Trooper video game is actually really fucking good too, and it's finally working again. Apparently, Alf.
Yeah, that's what they told me. It's apparently it's working properly. So we're gonna be playing more of that.
Do you think we're gonna have AI tattoos? Or is AI gonna take over
Please.
tattoo artists
Yes,
in the future?
Hey, Nagernal.
yes,
What's up,
it would take over
Megan?
tattoos,
And,
and I
Smooth
would
the
get an
DJ.
AI tattoo. God damn, this movie was so good.
It was so good. It was cheesy in
Look,
many ways, but it was so good.
It
It's
knew what
a
it was.
perfect 90s movie. Like
Yeah.
what
It was-
say?
The one thing that did frustrate me a little bit is one of the biggest parts of the novel. Like one of the things they spend a lot of time on is all about the suit that they wear and how their weapon systems work, and none of those exist in this.
They're
Yeah,
it's like Iron Man suits.
In the books, they actually have mechs and such, but they don't
they
actually
get mechs
bring it
and
in.
exosuits, and it's a really
Well,
big important part of the story that does not exist.
They
in the
do
movie at
bring
all.
they do bring the mechs in within the animated movies that they ended up doing, which were also like phenomenal.
I
like
did
the
not know there were
sequels
animated
to-
Starship Trooper movies.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
they're really good.
Okay, the sequel movies are awful, but the animated I haven't watched
Oh
any
god,
of.
they are fucking tastic. Like there's one
Okay.
where a bug queen gets on a ship that is traveling towards Earth, and they have like a lot of the original crews there, and I believe it was Neil Patrick Harris's character, who's not voiced by him, he's stowed it away on the ship, and then the queen starts breeding and manipulating him, and they bring in the mechs and utilize the mechs. It's been a while since I watched it. It was a fucking good movie.
I like this breakdown. Language, violence, nudity, a little bit more. No political bias.
Yep.
Yeah.
Entertainment value, way up there.
Yep.
And that's what
That
it was.
one we
It was
added.
pure
we
Not
added the
family friendly.
There needs to be family friendly. Hell no.
Yeah, right. No. Yeah.
Don't
the
let your kids
entertainment
know
value
this
we had to
exists.
add later,
Yeah,
just
thank
for
you,
the simple
Matthew.
fact that it's like with entertainment value, you can have a movie that is absolutely horrendous, but it does not mean that it's not the most entertaining movie you've ever seen.
The Room.